only
What up, virtual people? Welcome to episode 100 of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2023. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, the third leg of our VCR tripod himself. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mac Daddy Mickey Torres is back on the show.
What's up, everyone?
Hey!
And rounding out this righteous crew, Miami screenwriter and ruler of the night scene. You all know him as Gold's Code. Shaun Gold is back on the show.
Oh, that's right. Episode 100. You know what they say? When somebody cancels for some reason to host, they call me and I jump it every time.
All lies. This was pre-planned.
It was pre-planned. He's lying. He's lying.
Specially selected because I know he's got some experience. And you know what? He might be headed all the way to the finals in Los Angeles, folks. We don't know. We don't know. But if you couldn't tell by now, we are here today to kick ass in Double Dragon, win Video Armageddon, and play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Christian Slater. That's right, folks. This world needs the Wizard 2 Warp Zone, and we're here to give it to you.
It doesn't.
But before you tell me that the Power Glove is so bad, we need to talk about how the Wizard came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that includes everyone watching in the live chat as well. Is it Love at First Laserdisc, Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how the Wizard came into your lives. So, Mr. Gold, you remember the first time you watched the 1989 masterpiece that is The Wizard?
100%. I saw it in theaters.
I'm already jealous.
Yeah, I was 4 years old at the time, or as Mickey calls it, his second sophomore year. It was absolutely as amazing as you could imagine. Nobody knew that they were going to introduce Super Mario 3 at that time in that film. And the entire theater lost their mind. It was amazing. It was one of those magical experiences that you could only, you had to be there for it. And that's all I really remember. I didn't care about the subplots. I didn't care about the terrible acting.
That's just wonderful. I love everything what you just said. It's all poetry to me. And that's a moment in time that I missed. I did not get, we'll get there. But sadly, spoiler alert, I did not see it in theaters. And I've yet to see it in theaters. And this is one of those movies I would go to the drive-in for. I would love to see in a midnight showing, packed full of fans. But we'll get into that. Mickey, let's talk about the first time you saw The Wizard.
In the theaters.
Is this a date? Oh, you motherfucker.
13-year-old Mickey in the theaters. Watching this with the homies.
Sons of bitches.
With all the homies. We were all excited about this movie. I mean, the trailer just sold us on it. It was just awesome from head to toe. We were so I was a Nintendo head. I loved Nintendo. I loved playing Nintendo. My friends all loved playing Nintendo. So when we found out there was a movie about Nintendo, I mean, sure, there's some other things in it, but
no, there's not. There's not.
But it's mostly about Nintendo. So we were like, oh, we got to go watch this movie, and it delivered in so many facets. It's not even funny. I mean, it just blew my mind. And this is pre-internet. So finding out Super Mario 3, what?
It melted your mind.
That was
melted your mind.
I mean, it was before the time. When you got Super Mario 2, you were just oh, they can do sequels to video games. You never I mean, I didn't really put
Nobody ever played Super Mario 2.
What are you talking about? It's a classic.
Those guys. Don't stop.
One of the greatest video games of all time. We all know it's Doki Doki.
Either you had the first one or you waited till the Super Nintendo and you waited to get Super Mario.
You didn't wait that, dude.
You're speaking crazy.
The next
Ian is here to grump it up, man.
What household did you grow up in?
I grew up in a household where we could afford salt. That's the household I grew up in. So we
all right. Who spilled your soup today, Grandpa? Come on.
But you got the gas station pizza. I'm sure the gas station pizza was, just around the same price as Super Mario 2.
For free, so I don't want to hear it.
I think somebody threw out his gas station pizza today. He seems extra not stoked.
I mean, the next thing he's going to say
is a masterpiece of a film is The Wizard.
That Airborne's not a good movie.
How do you have to argue that, Shaun? That's just a fact.
Those two fucking things.
All right, I'm just going to
come out of his mouth. I know
this.
I know it.
Ian is close in age to me. I'm gonna guess that you did not see this close to its release. I'm gonna guess you saw it later in life.
Oh,
Am I
way
wrong?
later. Way later.
Ah, well, there you go. That's the problem there, Gramps. You
Yeah,
gotta
no
see this
magic.
movie with the purity of a young heart. You know?
I did. I mean, look, this was USA. That's where I saw The Wizard the first time.
Not the same.
USA movie
Not
network.
the same.
No,
That's a dime
commercials?
store way
You
to
saw
do
it with
it.
commercials?
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
No, you can't. This movie is a commercial. You can't interrupt it for other commercials. That's too
It
much.
works.
That is
No.
true.
Well, apparently
works.
not, because you don't seem to be singing the praises of the Todd Holland masterpiece.
That's okay.
We're talking David Chisholm here.
You don't live by the groove. That's all I know.
Yeah, no,
You don't
fuck
live by the
hey.
groove.
It's okay.
The great
We'll
Paul
talk-
Carrick here.
We'll
Dude,
talk our
just the
moment.
opening song of this movie, the soundtrack alone is like phenomenal.
You were there. You were there. I was there. We were all there. I saw it.
All right, so how old are you when you see this on USA?
I don't know. Probably 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Say-
And your mind wasn't melted? I mean, like, come on, that movie, I don't know, you must have had a rough childhood.
Ian was like a
Oh,
jaded.
I just
You were
look,
like a jaded
I'll be
old
honest,
man
I'll be-
by
to
that
this
age,
day.
like-
Look, to this day, I'm still not a gamer. I will tell you that is
But
probably
this
my
movie's got a
vibe.
heart. It doesn't need to be a gamer. It's got a
It's-
heart.
I'm not a gamer. So
But there's a good story. There's a good
is.
story.
Look,
Listen, wait, let me ask you something. Did you like Over the Top?
of course I did.
Did
This
you
is
like
over
Rocky?
the top. This is
I mean-
over the top. It's like
It's
It's even got
not
the
over
same
the top.
truck.
It's
Spanky drives Lincoln Hawk's truck, his actual fucking truck. It says Hawk Hauling on the
I
side.
get it. But here's the thing. Okay. I'm gonna go snobby on y'all.
What is the
You-
thing?
as if you-
What is the thing?
Just shock me.
I'm sorry. May I speak? Thank you. The point is, there's Christopher Guest movies, right? Now,
Okay.
I thoroughly believe in this theory that if you like the subject matter of the Christopher Guest movie, you will buy into it more. All right. I'm not a
Okay.
big dog person. Best in show, I get it. I'm a theater guy. So Waiting for Guffman, hilarious. Totally buy into it. Right?
Okay.
Mighty Wind. Do I like folk music a lot? It's all right. But that's why Mighty Wind's not as funny. All right. Funny moments, but not funny overall. Same
Spinal
thing,
Tap.
I think of The Wizard. The Wizard is one of those, if you're a gamer, I can understand this is, Indiana Jones. This is like the movie. This is what you strive for. But if you're not into gaming, it's got some good sentimental value. I mean, the scene at the freaking dinosaur place.
California.
Hey, the scene at the California place where he pulls out the lunchbox. And Tier City. I get it.
Absolutely.
Of
Goddamn
course.
right, it's Tier City.
The-
And I'll tell you
the-
something else, my friend. Let's take the gaming out of this movie. You still got Vision skateboards, Vision streetwear all
Vision
over this movie.
the
And that
Vision
shit is just a
streetwear
beautiful
stuff
moment in time.
alone.
And you have this wonderful kids road movie where of course they encounter some tough scenarios, but they stay together and they get through it. And where do they end up? In the land of movie dreams, California, at Universal Studios. Not only is this a
Now,
wonderful,
I will say, yes, this is I do appreciate this movie for being a time capsule for the King Kong ride. I'm not gonna lie to you on that.
That,
Well,
that's the
I
only
mean,
thing
it's
you
of
could
more
be
than that, my
appreciative.
friend.
For me too, like I didn't know Universal Studios was a thing until I saw
Yeah.
this movie. Like I just had no idea of Universal Studios.
A
Like,
friend of
that-
mine recently sent me that teaser, and Ian, you got to remember this. It had the words Universal coming across the screen,
Oh,
and
yeah,
each letter was different scenes from like
On the
movies,
VHS
and it's
of
like
the
they have
Burbs.
Jaws, and they have fucking Harry and the Hendersons, and then they have Back to the Future.
Yeah, it was on
and
Harry
they-
and the Hendersons VHS tape. It was on the
Mhm.
Burbs VHS tape. Heck yeah,
Yeah.
for that.
Even had scenes from Battlestar Galactica in there. It was amazing. It was
Which took me years to figure out that's what that was. I was like,
Yeah, it
what
took me a
is
while,
this
too.
sci-fi movie. What is
I-
this?
But I'm gonna contest that you don't need to be a gamer to like this movie.
You
I
don't.
agree.
No. I don't think you need to be a gamer to like the movie. I'm just saying, if you are into gaming, there's an
Mm.
extra investment in the movie.
Okay.
All
I'm saying
right,
you
I'll
don't have to
grant
like-
you that.
Once,
can
once
like
again,
dogs.
You're bordering on video treason here.
Yeah,
With your
well,
un-American ways.
What? Did you just call me a communist because I don't like the Wizard?
yes.
I said
But
un-American.
nasty
don't
of
you
you.
know?
God
He
Yes.
said-
damn,
say-
sir. I knew Jack Kennedy. You, sir. actually look like Jack Kennedy on a wild weekend. So I mean,
I look like maybe the zombified ghost of Jack Kennedy at best.
You're the epitome of what Jack Kennedy wanted to be.
I do believe that we are here today.
This was a movie. No, but
this was one of the finest movies in all the Americas, all of the dreams in all of the 1980s.
I did have a crush on Jenny Lewis.
Okay, True Beverly Hills. We're talking later in life, Jenny and Johnny. Definitely a great fixture of a moment in time. And I feel like I'm forgetting a credit of Jenny Lewis's around that time, a TV show or something. Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, but I will get to my first time seeing this wonderful film shortly. But I do want to see who's in the live chat today and say hi to everybody in there. Let's see. Okay. We got Mikey Riffraff and Angie Saunders, the mashup geniuses. We have Miyagi Do, Alex Bonafonte as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Some happy 100s in there. Thank you so much. Alex Bonafonte leading off with a quote. I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
So bad.
Oh, God.
Dude, that was the best. That's the best.
Oh, God. The cheesy shit. Yeah, people love it. I'm telling you, you do some cheesy gold like that, and they'll love you forever.
I know what it is, Chris. You're thinking of Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even.
Thank you. Yes, I love that movie.
That movie,
and I fucking kills me.
That movie.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I'll tell you what. Well, you know what happened with that movie? It was supposed to be called Step Kids, and some bullshit happened, and they had to change the title to Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even, which is probably the worst movie title I've ever heard.
What are the long movie
title
titles?
does it no service. But you've got, first of all, I mean, not to derail this whole episode, but you've got the great Griffin Dunn. I mean, Griffin Dunn can do no wrong in my cinematic heart of hearts.
Another Savage
He's
brother.
One of the greatest guys. Another what?
Yep. Another Savage brother.
Yeah, the one, the Boy Meets Girl.
Ben Savage.
Ben Savage, and it's
Ben
Boy
Savage
Meets World.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So there is a connection.
Way to do your research, Professor.
Coming
prepared.
Coming very prepared.
Anything other than The Wizard. That's a...
no, fuck. The Wizard is one of the greatest films of all time.
It's probably the greatest movie of the 20th century, along with Airborne, along with American Ninja 2.
I mean, in the pantheon of kids on wheels.
It's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the fucking Hall of Fame, dude. There's like
it's in the Hall of Fame.
You know, The Wizard, Airborne, like anything with kids on wheels, like it's all about freedom, and spirit, and coming of age and passion. And Ian has no love in his heart, and he can't take these things.
Not true. I've always wanted to see this.
The kid.
Oh, dude, we have to go out there one of these days, man, because that's like my number one place is Dinosaur Park. That's where I've always wanted to go.
Bring the lunchbox with the photos and run up to the top.
Yep.
Pee-wee and the Wizard, man, the two greats. You know, there's no film location.
I'm about to start going California every 2 seconds. California, and I'm gonna get out there. I mean, I've been there.
And a perfect soundtrack. Let's see. Angie Saunders.
Look, the movie it's good. It's not that I'm saying it's a terrible movie. You misinterpret me, people.
No, we get it. You're just saying you're a terrible
I'm not
person.
feeling the love
exactly. You're
for this movie.
I'm just saying, if I was in the presence of actors who were in the movie and I cut a fart just because I was like, I had to do it, I wouldn't feel ashamed. I mean, it's just like, oh, you're in the Wizard. Okay. You know, like, I'm saying, like, I'm just saying. All right.
Ian hopes to one day fart on the cast of The Wizard.
I wouldn't fart in front of Jenny Lewis, though. That's just
when I cut the clip show for next week. That's gonna be I'm gonna do a little pause moment for everyone, like the end of Can't Hardly Wait. You know, Mickey ran for Senate, like fake future predictions for everybody.
But honestly, Julie, were you guys gamer? I mean, like,
yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, dude. We love Nintendo.
Let me say for the record. Okay, let me say for the record. Quiet down, old man. Let me talk here.
May I speak?
Okay.
May I speak?
Because you may not. Excuse me.
Stop, Gramps.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not only did this game make me want to go to the World Video Game Championships, okay, but in the mid-90s, there was a World Video Game Championships at Blockbuster that I did compete in. And I placed top 10 because of this movie. This movie influenced me. It wasn't like Video Armageddon. There was no audience. It was just me at a Blockbuster playing NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
Nice.
And I had the Blockbuster staff being all hyping me up. And it was awesome. And it was amazing. And it was the coolest thing to me because I saw the movie The Wizard and I wanted to do it. So, yes, was a gamer. Definitely played in the closest thing I had to the World Video Game Championships. And it was amazing.
I
So
can't
he
even
got-
call you Shaun Gold anymore. I can only refer to you as the Dream from now on.
Thank you.
Because you are just living it, my man. That is
There you go.
God damn. That is just
You know, it would be
poetry.
really cool if you
What's the
ended
name
up
of the
in
head
the
guy?
Power magazine.
I wanted to be in the Power magazine, but the highest it was like top 10 in my hometown. So they had a leaderboard. So it was like
Yeah.
a thing where all the kids were like, your name's on the leaderboard. And it was like a big thing. And you got a bunch of free stuff. You got like gift bags, you got like
Pretty cool.
Blockbuster gift cards, you got like the
Nice.
little food they give at Blockbuster.
what a fucking time to
there's
be
a lot
alive,
of swag.
folks.
So yeah, there was that. So I mean, again, I think if you beat it, if you were number one, you went to like the regionals, and then you went to like the nationals, and I don't know what you won, but it was like it was a big thing with Blockbuster. But that's where they had Tournament Jam and NBA Jam Tournament Edition. They had a like Sonic to get the highest score. They had Donkey Kong Country. It was like special timed versions where it was like a special cartridge that it was only like 4 minutes and then the game stops and you had to get a high score. So it was very competitive. You had to practice. You know, I couldn't imagine doing it if I was traveling cross country with a bunch of quarters and a skateboard.
That's inspirational. That's a movie that makes a dent in the universe. Like Karate Kid made everyone want to take karate. This movie made Shaun Gold, the Dream, made him fucking work and practice and get the high score in Sonic and get the fucking high score. And you know something? I bet you right before here just kicked ass in Double Dragon. You know, if I know this man, I know that.
Bimmy and Jimmy. You know, that was my jam. So I'm sorry, Ian. I forgot you were there. You may talk now.
No, it's just I just wanted to know, like, okay, so I like this idea. What was your Nintendo game that you all like that you cherish? Because I got a great weird answer for you all.
That's a tough
I don't
one. That's
think
like
I can boil
asking
it
to
down
pick
to just one
my
game.
favorite VCR.
Oh, you can.
Redux
If you had to go to an island and you can only bring one cartridge for Nintendo 60 or Nintendo original, like what would it be?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Operation Wolf.
It's tough for me. I might have to go because I am a big sports guy too.
Double dribble?
Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
Part of me wants to say DuckTales, right? There was a Mickey Mouse game that I remember loving a lot, but I gotta say, you know, we're talking here about the Wizard, and Super Mario 3 is probably the cartridge that takes the NES to its absolute limit. You know,
also like another one of my favorites was the WCW wrestling game on Nintendo.
But I must say, you know, my favorite Mario is definitely 2, though. I love 2, and it's, you know, I know it's not really a Mario game. It's Doki Doki Panic when they put Mario characters in it. But still, it's a great game.
You can play as Toadstool.
Dude, Toadstool was my man.
Pick up a carrot and throw it at a guy. I mean, it's.
I do like 3 a lot, though. Super Mario 3 is
a tough
dope.
choice. What would yours be, Ian?
Wizards and Warriors Iron Blade 2.
Iron Sword with Fabio.
Iron Sword 2.
Yes.
You know, honestly, if I had one cartridge, it probably wouldn't be a Nintendo cartridge. It might be a Sega Master System game or a TurboGrafx 16 card.
You asked about Nintendo. So
yeah, I'm just saying that. I just want to throw that out there.
But that was the Wizard, though. All you had.
And also because the magazine that Jenny Lewis holds is the cover story is the debut of the TurboGrafx 16, and that's another great moment in time in itself. It all takes us back to 1989, folks. It's what we are here to do today. But we're also here to talk to everyone in the live chat. So I want to get back to that a little bit. Angie Saunders again says she discovered this on VHS. Alex Bonafonte says he's about 3 or 4 in the theater. Dustin Nino of Retro Fiend Radio, of course, makers of the finest canon and martial arts docs on the internet. Says, what's up, everyone? Goldie looking good, man. First time I saw this was HBO as a kid, a million times.
Yeah.
Angie Saunders says, not a gamer either and loved Over the Top, proving, I think, assume that Angie's not an arm wrestling fanatic. So proving that you can, you know, you don't have to love music to love Eddie and the Cruisers. I wanted to speak in Ian jargon for a sec there. Alex Bonafonte agrees, though. Ian says Mario 2 does suck. It's a cheap reskin of another game, Doki Doki Panic. Good call, Alex Bonafonte. I still love it, though. I never played the original Doki Doki Panic, but Mario 2 is so unique, and like I'm the
So
weird like
sick of you internet farts just praising that game. I played it as a kid. I thought it was the stupidest waste of time. Super Mario.
It's not like I'm saying like that Super Mario 2 is the best game.
Don't you
I'm just saying
it was interesting.
Stand by it, you scumbag. You
no, I didn't say it was the best game. I'm just saying that I like it.
There's a lot of love in the chat for Mario 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Mario 3 was great.
Andy Saunders says, I love Mario.
The magic flute.
Thing that did the
Get the magic flute. Get the magic flute.
Alex Belafonte makes a good point. All those old NES are hard as balls, he says, which I agree.
Oh, for real, man.
Castlevania,
the old Castlevania.
Mikey Riffraff says his game would be Star Wars Galaxies. And let's see.
I remember that one.
Yeah, a lot of love for Mario 1 also now in the chat. But Alex Belafonte makes a great point. Of course, Genesis does what Nintendo don't, which is why, again,
I do love Genesis. I was always a Sega guy, more so
Sega Master System.
But I did love Nintendo. I mean, I loved my Sega Master System with the Rambo game. The Rambo game was
First
so
Blood Part
good.
2, right?
Oh yeah.
I played that game so much, so long. It was
me
and
too.
Space Harrier. Space Harrier was an awesome one too.
Space Harrier was like practically
Turtles.
But I was an Alex Kidd guy. That's before Mario, folks.
Yeah.
I remember a whole day one summer I lost all the Turtles. The arcade game.
Oh yeah, there was some good. There was some great and some terrible Turtles games. You
did the side jump.
Some of them even featured in this film.
Yeah.
But so my
Ninja
Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
So the first time I saw The Wizard, I had to wait till VHS. I wanted to see it so bad in theaters, but like it was 1989 and my parents could only take me to so many movies, and we probably went to the movies every weekend and still missed like 50 of the greatest films of all time, because that's how potent this year was, folks.
Yeah, 89.
We're talking Major League, Indiana Jones 3, Batman, Ghostbusters 2, Field of Dreams, Back to the Future 2. Like 89 is just ridiculous. Bill and Ted, like it's just it goes on.
It was nonstop.
It was nonstop. The best time.
You literally could go to the movies every week, and that's like something that I miss. Like that during that time, it was like you were at the movies every weekend
because the movies were fucking great. That's
and you were on opening night.
What happens? It's like they're making shitty movies,
and you always went opening night.
Yeah, it was like a thing. You had to get prepared and go opening night, and like you didn't go like at 5 because that's when okay, whatever. But you go at like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Really cool. You go to like a 9:30 show with all the cool kids.
Yeah. Or sometimes if the movie was that hot and that fire, those tickets they would sell out. So that was like kids don't know.
I remember when you had to go to the theater like as soon as you got out of school to get tickets for like the 9 o'clock show, because it was going to sell out.
That was it, and you got to go and.
You had to get those tickets, and then something like I remember, like Batman '89. Man, I sat through like 3 or 4 different showings that sold out, and I had the only one I had was like a midnight showing. That was the only one, and they were adding showings because the demand was there.
Wow. Oh, that was such a God. That fucking Batmania that year was so. Such an amazing infection of pop culture. But like I said, The Wizard really made quite an effect on me. I think it stoked the flames of my passion for like Universal Studios and made me want to go there so fucking bad, because again, all those Universal tapes at the time had that little thing, that little teaser. And then this movie ended there. It just seemed like a fantasy. Like I thought like I would go to Universal Studios, I'd climb off King Kong and then wind up in Video again.
Come on.
Yeah, I thought I'd play Super Mario 4 and I'd win the day, like it's just such a fantasy as a kid. Like they literally they hop in a Hostess truck. And again, the soundtrack, you got Paul Carrack, I Live by the Groove, Send Me an Angel by Real Life. It's just so nonstop, front to back perfection.
New Kids on the Block is on there.
Yeah. That's right. Hanging Tough. I got Video Monsters. I got Movie Monsters. I got all kinds of monsters.
I love that line.
Every little character is memorable. Putnam is such a fucking dick. You want to punch him in the face. Like he's great.
And he did get
the great
punched.
Sam McMurray is Bateman.
Dude,
like,
the best.
I have a responsibility to the welfare of that child. You know, like,
the best is like
so
Jenny
punchable.
Lewis, like sitting there going, "He touched my breasts." In the middle of it, it's like,
it's
I'm
fucking
like,
Spanky.
wow,
Frank McRae,
Spanky.
one of the
Spanky.
greatest actors that has ever walked the earth, who was phenomenal in Last Action Hero and in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, which is a movie I can't believe we haven't done a fucking VCR for. That's a crime that we haven't done that. We have to do that ASAP. But I just love Frank McRae. It's Spanky, and just her yelling at him like, "Put it on the pass line, the pass line."
Hard 8. Hard 8.
Yeah. What a hard 8.
Who was the guy at the end challenge? The MC?
Yeah, the guy was the
Stephen
best
Grimes.
guy. Yeah, the animal.
Stephen Grimes. He was in like Nightmare 5, The Dream Child, or The Dream.
Gimme.
Come on.
That dude must have done a mountain of blow before those scenes, because he is sweating like a fucking.
He has to take his he has to take his tie off, and he's like, oh man, that
just even everything he says, like 50,000 smackaroos.
He sold it to you, dude. He like I said,
that dude got you.
You know what he reminded me of?
As a kid.
He reminded me of Killian from Running Man.
Yeah, he was a less reserved Killian.
Yeah,
I'll be back only in a rerun. Oh, folks, we got the Running Man home game. I feel like it's. What if they had that guy on there? Oh man, forget it. That guy introducing Sub-Zero. I mean,
I don't know how that guy. Yeah, right. Didn't work.
He made
more.
3 kids be like Titans, right?
Yeah,
with like Moira, and it's like this random
Moira
girl.
Grissom.
the beautiful, right? The beautiful Moira, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Lucas
Martin from Nevada.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it was
such
just
a-
he was just so amazing, and it was just I don't know that tournament again. It made me want to enter a tournament, so I did. It made me want to be out there with all my friends and play.
Well, did any of you have the glove?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work.
I got the glove for Christmas. I got the glove for Christmas like that next.
Really?
You had it? You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
And it was like, dude,
Did
it
it
was
not work
like,
for you?
first of all, you needed to have gone to MIT to be able to operate this thing, right? Like, you had to hook all this shit up onto your TV and leave it there, and then calibrate the glove, and then you had to enter a different code for each game that you're gonna play and how the things worked. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just a controller basically pasted to your arm. It does not work at all the way it's supposed to work,
But it worked great.
It was
for
this
Rad
close
Racer.
to being incredible. They took
for the
incredible
movie,
engineering and they put it into a glove that cost them $20 to produce.
It's
I
like
could
the
do a
Wizard
whole
and
episode
Freddy's
just on the
Dead.
Power Glove.
Yeah, Freddy's Dead. It was cool.
The Wizard and Freddy's Dead made the glove.
Freddy's
actually
Dead is the
work.
best. Yeah, just the fucking best.
But when Nintendo had a lot of
gimmicky
peripherals,
things.
they had a lot of stuff. They had a twister kind of mat that had A/B, so you can jump around.
Yeah.
And,
for track and field, that worked. That was legit.
They had that. They had one where it was you had the. It was a headset that
and
then
then
had the little
scope,
target.
the little
Yeah, the
scope.
Oh
scope.
god, that was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it had that didn't work. It had the glove. I mean, they had much crap that you wanted, but then when you got it, you're like, what is this?
There was
you never heard of
literally
that,
a ball. There was literally a ball with a platform coming off that you would lean on.
That's
and,
right.
try and run that way and stuff and hit I can't remember where the buttons were, but you'd hold something in your hand and you'd lean on this yoga ball with a Saturn ring, and I can't believe no kid fucking died on one of those things.
Of you young turds watching, the 90s was all about selling us lots and lots of stuff. For instance, I always wanted to have that. You remember that game where you had a gun on each side and you basically shot silver balls at each other?
Yeah, Crossfire.
Crossfire. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
One of
the greatest theme song ever.
And one of the greatest commercials ever. Right?
Yeah, Crossfire was
that fucking theme song kicked ass.
Crossfire.
Yeah, that should have been a movie. I would have loved to see the Wizard too.
Write that one, Shaun. Write the Crossfire movie.
I think
something there.
I think there is that commercial. For those that don't know, after you watch the show, you could YouTube it. It was in the future, two warriors face off, and they came on hovercrafts, And
But
they
they
both
Yes.
were shooting this thing, and then one of
Yeah.
them, when they lost, got like went into
Zipped
the
out
wall.
into
Lasered away. Yeah.
But it
That
sucks.
shit,
If you
that's what
actually
commercials
played
used to
it-
sell you and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
literally would watch a commercial and you'd be like, "Oh, I gotta get that." Like
It's
you
a
literally that would
fucking
come.
marble
But
game.
you'd play
Like, come
it
out of
and
your mouth.
all the balls would just roll off. You wouldn't even shoot them. They would just roll off the thing.
Yeah.
It
So
wasn't
sucked, dude.
as cool as the commercial made it to be. When
Mhm.
you
No,
did it,
not
it
at
was
all.
like, okay, it's done.
But it's like
we
that,
are
though.
almost
The
oh,
glove. The power glove always reminded me of just how I know that thing didn't work. I had a friend who had it. It's like this.
It never worked for anybody. Nobody.
Yeah.
It just looked cool, but nobody ever was like, oh, I have the glove. It was just like, oh, I got
Oh, the glove.
That-
You just
but that-
all you wanted the glove to do was you wanted to play Punch Out, and you wanted to be able to go like this and have it, work. And
Yeah.
it didn't work.
Take that, Piston Honda.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I can
What?
finally, yeah.
But we
I
gotta
can take that
acknowledge-
soda Popinski.
Glass Joe
We
would
have
have
to
been knocked out
acknowledge
after
that-
one punch.
Movie does have one of the biggest D bags of all time.
Who?
Who?
The guy that owns the power glove.
Oh, Lucas.
Lucas?
Lucas. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
my God.
classic like kid douchebag villain character for
Well,
sure.
But he
lived
wasn't
at, like
even-
an airport. He lived at like they went to like this hangar. All the
Yeah.
planes are like taken. I don't understand.
And
that.
all his homies. And then there's like Toby Maguire is one of his homies.
Yeah, Toby
Yeah.
Maguire's
Yeah.
one of his homies. He's at the airport, and
Yeah.
he's like, okay, he takes out the briefcase. Pick all. I have 97 or something. He was-
97. All 90. I have 97.
I know
yeah.
all 97.
I
you know?
know all 97.
I'm
But
still
that-
longing
that-
to get.
But that case didn't have 97.
Of course,
He was a liar too. He was a douchebag and a liar.
I'm like, if you're really gonna throw out, you have 97. Your homie should have put out cases too. Like,
Yeah.
which one
Well.
would you like?
that's the producer didn't do his job that day. What do you mean you didn't get me 97? You got me seven.
There's about
games?
10
How the
in
fuck
there.
am I supposed to make that look impressive? Just shoot it, god damn it.
And
God, I love this
never
fucking
heard,
movie.
I never heard Jimmy Woods say, "I want Rad Racer."
Yeah. Yeah, he just put that on to show off.
Oh.
The one game that the glove worked with, I guess.
Yeah,
for him.
exactly.
He
Well,
could
I
have
mean,
been like,
it's so
all right.
rad and he's so bad that it just fit.
Put on Legend of Zelda, tough guy. Let's see how
Yeah,
good you are with
exactly.
that with those stupid little things.
Well,
Mhm.
apparently there are many cutscenes involving them playing even more Nintendo games, and apparently they're available on the Scream Factory Blu-ray, which
Oh.
I'm
I gotta
sad
get
to say
that.
I do not own.
I
the
don't own it
collector's
either.
edition.
I
I
don't
own the
own it either.
standard. I own the first Blu-ray, the Universal Blu-ray, which is just a no bonus feature disc, which breaks
No
my heart
frills.
that there's a version. I can see all these deleted scenes, and I need to own it like now. So
I don't
send me
think
money
life
in the
will
super
change.
chat. No.
I promise your life will not change.
What?
No, my life will change absolutely because it's a perfect film and it's a perfect
is.
time, and we're basically at the
It's
pitching.
a
hour
perfect
now.
film. Casablanca, The Wizard.
Wizard.
You
You know
God.
what?
100%.
The wizard says a hell of a
outta
lot
here.
more about who
Stop.
we really are
Put it.
than,
Put
than
it up,
going
like,
with the
I mean-
wind or Lawrence of Arabia. Like
Listen.
these Citizen Kane. I love these movies, but like, come on, they
This
don't
is-
say
this is
who
an
we are.
ensemble
You know
cast.
who we are?
Exactly.
We're Bubba Smith workout tapes. We're like how to beat Double Dragon Nintendo VHS tutorials. That's who we
You are
really
talking.
are.
You are talking to a guy who had a VHS of Police Academy 5 and totally admires Combat Academy. So I understand.
Yes.
Listen.
We're the
I
three
lived-
movies on one EP tape people. That's who
Yeah,
we
that's-
are. Damn it.
That's what we are. 3 movies.
That's
on
what
it.
America is.
That's
Okay?
who we were. That is who we were in the 90s, folks. We were playing Tetris and we were watching Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise.
And we were enjoying every minute of it.
That's right.
Every
And I wasn't sitting there going like, "Man, this movie is no Casablanca," but you know, it's like,
Very
Yeah, I was like,
boosty
they
of
really
you.
could have used Bogey in this scene here,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Yes, you were. Don't act like
truckers
you
pull
weren't
over
thinking.
Putnam.
Yeah,
know.
Sidney Greenstreet should have hosted the video Armageddon. He was so good in the Maltese Falcon. Let's
I
just
mean,
put him
like-
in there.
I
Sean,
don't-
we-
No,
I don't see how
Elizabeth
they could
Taylor,
do it.
not for me.
for you acknowledging Sidney Greenstreet, we're friends again.
I don't
Ah,
see how they can do this movie without John Wayne. I mean, like, it's just
Rock-
it's not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah, you
If
kids
only Rock
playing your
Hudson
video
was playing the
games.
part of Lucas.
Rock Hudson. Oh God! Shout out to the great Thomas Ian Griffith who played Rock Hudson in a TV movie.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Wizard and back to Nintendo Land here. In the live chat, Alex Bonafante says Konami peaked on NES, Contra, Jekyll, Top Gun and Blades of Steel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta agree with
Konami.
both.
Get him on the
Konami.
show.
Blades
Get-
of
And
Steel.
also,
Konami.
Angie Saunders says the Top Gun game was hard.
It was.
I would say the Top Gun game was impossible. I couldn't do
you
shit
can't
on
land.
that game.
You can't land.
I
Can't
couldn't
do
land. Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
I couldn't do anything with that.
But there is already a pitch. And again, if you haven't pitched yet, guys, feel free to hit us with what you want to see in a Wizard sequel.
Oh, I've got
but-
something.
Oh, Sean Gold's got something. Well, there's also something in the live chat here. Alex
Please,
Bonafonte
live
says
chat.
pitch, Crossfire, Rise of the Lead Balls.
Yes.
This
I would love
Crossfire
it.
idea
Not a
is
Wizard
taking
sequel,
root.
but I would love a Crossfire movie. And I would love it how it's just like that commercial, and it could be a short half-an-hour movie, and I would pay to see it. I would crowdfund it.
Well, we got a Battleship movie. We can get a
Sean,
Crossfire
we'll talk.
movie.
We'll talk after this because you know what? I think that's actually a pretty fucking brilliant idea. I think
Yeah, that's a good one.
man.
That's
Like,
a good
just
one.
make that commercial into a half-an-hour movie. It doesn't have to
That's
be an
it.
hour. It doesn't have to be 90 minutes. No, just 30 minutes of that.
I've already have something bubbling in my mind to write
delicious
just for that.
already.
Just for that.
Already.
No more
All
Wizard.
right, all right.
Crossfire.
All right, so the Wizard though, who's got pitches for the Wizard? Anything you
Okay,
want to see or don't want to
okay.
see?
All right. So this is a tough one
Sequel to
because
Wizard?
it was a generational movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So they had a Nintendo World Video Game Championship like 5 years ago. Okay. I remember going to Best Buy and everyone was playing like the little DSs and it was not cool. Okay. It was just a bunch of people. It was nothing. It was like a bunch of nerds playing like DS. They didn't do it how they did it at Blockbuster where you got the big screen.
Big
and
screen.
They hyped it up.
Oh,
No, it was just a bunch of people like, okay, this guy's out. You go up next. It's terrible. Okay. So this movie, okay, you can incorporate it with Airborne. Okay. But it's an Airborne video game in the Wizard. So that the game they're playing.
Oh my
it's like
God.
Remember Road Rash with the motorcycles?
That
So
would
now
be
it's
awesome.
like a skating game. Okay, so you can have a new cast with some cameos. You know, one of the Savage Brothers that's not in trouble.
And you have to come up with a new accessory too. A new like a wetsuit or something.
You come up with something for like the Wii where it's kind of like VR, and you can have it where they're all like on on
board.
stage, but they're in the game and there's a giant screen and it's a downhill race. Okay, and
VR.
If you can't get the rights to Airborne, you could just call it Devil's Backbone, and that could be the game. That could be it. It's like, okay, it's Devil's Backbone, and then like they're all skating and they could hit them and they could push each other, and you can have all that.
The Wizard 2, the Devil's Backbone.
That's what you do.
And then what if
Jimmy Woods can be the reigning champ and he could just come out and shake a hand? He doesn't need to be an actor.
But what if the secret game was the K-12?
Ooh. You're
Like
taking it
there. Devil's Backbone. You're like, these kids are familiar with Devil's Backbone because
You're trying to fucking get down the K-12 and the Devil's Backbone.
I mean, it could be part of leading up because they're like, okay, because now they could do it. It's like we have 4 teams, right? Now you got to up it. It's a sequel. You can't have 1 versus 1 versus 1. You got to have teams, and each team could do it, and it would combine both of it. And Ian, I can tell you're so excited. You're not saying.
Is the host guy still alive? Because I just want to hear him say, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
Yeah,
Jimmy Woods.
Yeah.
He is alive and he's still working. Stephen Grimes is still working.
All right, we
I want
him.
the guy that says Ninja Gaiden to be a guy that's still there.
Oh, that guy.
He knows Ninja Gaiden.
He knows Ninja Gaiden. So, I would love that. Now, what if like Christian Slater had a kid, and his kid turned out like Jimmy didn't really like. Here's the thing about Jimmy, they wanted to put him in the mental institute, this and that, whatever case it be, which is crazy idea back then. Like you thought, putting a kid in a mental institute, like what's that all about? Like
it was
can we just pause here for a minute and talk about like the shittiest fucking parents of all time? And his mother and fucking Bateman.
Yeah,
dude, the
exactly.
kid's like quiet. He just wants to talk about California and build shit. Like he's a normal goddamn kid.
Yeah.
You watch his sister fucking drown, and you're like, he wants to build things. Like what a terrible. And let's just get rid of him.
The funny thing about this movie too is like you didn't know about the sister until like way later. And then you're like, all right, it makes sense now why he's like that. But any event. Yeah. So like I feel like maybe Christian Slater has a kid too, and the kid's like real into video games, and he says like, "You like video games?" And it's like, and then his brother Jimmy comes over and starts playing. Like, I think you should like, because like esports nowadays is like a big
Yeah,
thing.
it's a big thing.
Oh, yeah,
It's a big thing.
yeah.
So you could literally have like you could redo the story with like with the kid, with the Christian Slater's kids. So you have Christian Slater, Bo Bridges is there. He's the grandpa. You know,
I
Watch
think
the
I
mushroom.
like the bones of that. I mean, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Chris.
oh no,
there's
please.
some
Yeah,
you
get
gotta
in
have
there.
some kind of
Get
story
in
to
there.
it. But
To be honest, I kind of wanted to go dark. I wanted a
Ooh, delish.
Jimmy meets hackers meets the Matrix kind of thing going on with this. I
Oh,
wanted
fucking.
because
Wow.
I am not a gamer. I'd rather read books. I'm not against games. Don't get me wrong. Don't attack me yet. I'm just
Ian's
saying,
like the old lady that's like, I got video game monsters, I got
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
monsters
yeah.
in here.
I
Like,
told you to
look,
get out of here.
Roger,
Didn't I
it's
say
them
that?
I'm a
again.
teacher.
you kids, why don't you read a book?
That's right. I am
Roger.
a
Ian played
teacher.
Roger in this movie and they cut him out and
Games
he's still pissed.
are our enemy. All right.
Okay, all right.
They just are.
Games
They
are our
just
enemy.
But
Fox News did to our
How-
parents what they said video games would do to us.
how fascinating would it to have Jimmy as like the ultimate like in the game world, and people want to search and hunt out the wizard. So you get a group of kids who want to find out this guy who plays any video game, right? They're playing Minecraft, and this guy comes in and within 2 minutes, like a Bobby Fischer, just like kills that board, and the
They're
kid.
playing Minecraft.
Does he? I mean, that's kind of what kids play now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah.
got to be what they're playing now. I mean, they're playing Red Dead Redemption.
But I like how you use like Minecraft, and it's like Fortnite's the big one. And you're like, who they're playing? Who they're listening to? Morgan Freeman.
but they're all of a sudden like they've got to find, there's an ultimate hunt for the wizard, right? And somewhere along the line, the only thing I could think of was that somebody challenges the wizard. It's like, oh, you think you're so great? Well, I challenge you. Like he's like the ultimate like D-bag.
He's like Lucas's kid,
Wait, who?
the kid that challenges him because he's the ultimate D-bag.
Is
You bring him
Lucas's
back.
kid?
Yeah.
Lucas's son.
Do you
I
do
can
like
see
a like you do like a Creed
Dukas
movie?
Barton.
You do like a Creed movie where you have like Lucas's son like now trying to avenge,
And then fucking Clubberlang's kid comes in and he's fucking
and
awesome.
Drago's kid,
Moira's
Drago's
kid. Moira's kid.
And then we
comes
get the
in.
son of Gun, son of Tommy Gun.
Well, but it's like, and then how great would it be to have like
he's a son of a gun.
you get the Fred Savage scene at the dinosaur park where he's talking about the legend of Jimmy and all this stuff, and I can see like a cool Michael Bay kind of looking thing.
Cool Michael Bay looking kind of
A
thing.
Michael Bay.
I don't know what that
What?
means.
The Michael Bay skyline.
What
it's
have you
always
been
boring.
drinking?
What?
What's the Michael Bay
You
thing?
got the kids playing Minecraft. You got Michael Bay doing the scenery.
I'm just saying.
Did someone drug your dinner, sir? Like,
Oh,
who are you and what have you done with Ian?
oh my God! Oh, listen, you buttholes! Like, watch any Transformers movies. That skyline I'm talking about. That orange.
So that's going to be the dinosaur.
magic hour.
You're going to bring him
The
in.
dinosaurs come to life.
The Dinobot. They get into a Dinobot.
So you're just going to have a skyline.
Oh, you know what?
Cinematography
Okay,
by
all
Michael
right,
Bay.
all right. So
Oh,
Jimmy
shit. No, I
creates
like it. I like it.
Jimmy creates a game that nobody can beat.
Okay.
Right,
And, that's the game they have to beat.
And it's got the dinosaurs or something. It's like Jimmy creates this world of this movie within this video game, and nobody can beat it.
Well, I thought of that could have been an interesting thing. It's like where is always like you have to roll these characters' lives forward 34 years, and that's a tough thing to do. And like I feel like Fred Savage would have turned out to be a dick, Like I mean, let's kind of face it, right? Like like Corey, like it's kind of not really like the greatest dude altogether. I mean, yeah, he's not a terrible dude or anything like that, but like he's got a lot of growing up to do. And
Well, you try getting across state lines with nothing more than a skateboard and your little brother and a girl you just met at a bus stop. It's not easy for any of us.
And $6.20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where can this get me? Nowhere.
Well, I'm gonna bet video games and hustle my way across the country then.
If it weren't for
He exploits his brother's video game abilities to get them both away from the authorities. Yes, it's in his brother's best interest. He's trying to avoid them putting him in a home. But I don't know. I just feel like Corey, he gets frustrated so fast. He's an angry person. I feel like, Jimmy, but what if Jimmy made a game that was like the story of the wizard? Like these kids have to skateboard across the country, and it's like Skating USA,
Oh, yeah, Skating USA.
And then it could end with the dinosaurs.
With a downhill race, with the preps.
Yeah. It's like Tony Hawk.
You know what? This movie wouldn't work today because I think there'd be an Amber Alert if Jimmy went missing. I think everyone would see him.
I think if Haley yelled out, "He touched my breast" in this one, I think it's
this one it's a sign of the time. They'd find those kids in an hour and get a text message. Oh wait,
exactly. Everybody's phone would be simultaneously
that's what I'm
ringing.
saying. Like some of this would actually be more better as an internet, traveling kind of movie. Like it's about finding places on the internet and trying to find this guy, and you'd have to
more troublesome.
I do
but to be honest, that's what happens. I mean, these kids don't travel anymore.
I like check out like Alex Bonafonte. He just put a pitch in. It's pretty
there's
good.
a pitch in there, yeah.
And Mike Riffraff. What up, Mike?
Oh, a couple pitches in there. Okay. Mikey Riffraff's pitch. Nintendo brings back all the former champions to fight against an evil AI that has taken over the development area and threatens to ruin Nintendo. Fuck,
that's kind of cool.
Really
that's
good.
cool. That's really cool.
Oh my god, there's a wizard that is an AI wizard, like that actually like creates itself to be the ultimate champion.
So here's a little fun fact that I think it was 1991. There was a real Nintendo like World Championships, like a giant video Armageddon, and the kid that won it, his real name was Thor. It was like Thor something won the whole thing, and I thought that was the coolest thing. There was like a dude named Thor that won. And it was a golden cartridge. And I think it's like $100,000 because they only made like 5 of them or something. And it's like, it's like a real thing if you look it up because there was track and field was on it. It was like 4 games on it, but it was like real like gold. So
solid gold.
It could be the quest for that, the quest for Thor's lost gold.
Well, it could be interesting to explore, like the Nintendo Championships.
No.
And imagine Video Armageddon went on, and then like Jimmy kind of got left in the dust a little bit. Like, I mean, I have all these different ideas. I mean, part of me would just honestly watch like the Sega version of this, like, especially because at the time it would have been so low rent. It would have been made with like the quality of like a Mac and Me, and like it's about the Sega. They're trying to push the Sega Master System as this big thing.
Well, I'm surprised that Sega never made the movie. Like, they never came out with a movie for Sega. Like
they tried. They tried to. Surf Ninjas had the Game Gear. That was their biggest thing. Remember? It was like I can see the future.
Oh, Rumble in the Bronx. The kids
Sega
playing
went
a Game Gear with no cartridge in it.
That was
but like I'm saying, like a movie
Sega
based around to like maybe a Sega like tournament or something like that.
Well, Sega was so fast though. I mean, as soon as Sega really kind of got its stride, boom, all of a sudden there was PlayStation, and then and right after that it was Xbox, and then so. They never got a chance to,
Sega. That's true. By the time
Nintendo 64 kicked its butt. I mean,
you know what happened? Honestly, it was infighting between Sega of Japan and Sega of America. They like couldn't get on the same page, and around like the Saturn Dreamcast 32X era, just like
because it was
there's like great documentaries about that stuff.
Yeah,
watch one about how Sega.
There's supposed to be a movie coming out about the console wars back then.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's supposed to be even producing it. But
Sega,
I don't know if
you have to, for those who are a little younger than us, their editions were just like parasites. So you got a Sega Genesis, but if you want a Sega CD, then you got to plug it in.
Yeah,
and if you want a 32X, you got to plug it on top. It was like you're making a sandwich, but none of them worked without the other. You constantly had to keep buying crap and plugging it in. And it was just terrible because like no shelf could accommodate all that stuff.
That's why we always just had Nintendo, man.
Yeah, that's all you needed.
I played Tetris till I was like 12.
Yeah, Nintendo didn't really. They fucked around with like the add-on peripherals, but not like the attach it to your system add-ons. Nintendo was like, oh, get Mario Paint with the mouse and track, and the fucking whatever. Get the Super Scope, get the light gun, get the blah blah blah, but. Sega had the 3D glasses though. Sega Master System.
I like Alex's like pitch though.
Yeah. So Alex Monfonte has one. Fred Savage owns a retro arcade and repair shop and operates it with his afflicted brother. The redhead gets breast cancer and the men decide to revive the video game world championships. The breast cancer thing, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh
Haley,
at that. It's just because
But
she's
she's
saying
like,
he touched my
He
breast.
touched my
Okay.
breast.
That's smart, Alex Belafonte. That's a good
That
pitch.
is very fucking smart, I gotta
Yeah.
say. And I love that at the heart of it, and that's a great thing to come together for. I think that's actually, probably hitting the heartstrings the most, which is like the hardest challenge to do. So if you took a little bit of that and Mikey Riffraff's pitch and a little bit of Ian's and Sean's, I think you're pretty much there.
I just have one question though. I mean, I spent a lot of time in arcades. I never had like a girl offering
Airborne
candy.
is a terrible movie.
No, it's not. It's one of the best movies ever. And
Follow Airborne
because,
Movie Experience on Instagram for the Airborne event
Airborne
of your
Movie
life
Experience
this summer.
But no, I spent a lot of time in
All three
arcades. I never saw like a 10-year-old girl walking around like selling candy in the outfit. You know how like they're there and he's walking around.
That is
like,
a weird fucking thing, right?
He's like a
what
baller.
is
He's
that?
like, here. He like pulls out the cash and he's like, here, and he buys like a Snickers and he's like, oh, keep your change. Like
that actually was the thing. I do remember at arcades at the mall there was a snack bar person who would
Did she dress like a showgirl, but she was like 12?
Well, that was the weird part. I agree with you. That
Yeah.
was the weird part about it. But I do
Yeah.
remember people coming up to people at the arcade and like a waitress.
I
And
feel
stuff.
like arcades were like the only rule was like no food, drink, or gum chewing, like because you don't want them getting like in the quarter slot or fucking up the machines. Like
it wasn't until I went to the casinos that I had like a waiter or a waitress coming up to me
and she wasn't 12, and she wasn't.
Casinos are so different. They'll let you practically fucking shoot heroin at the table if you just keep spending money. Like, oh, that's okay.
It's all watered down drinks. So
I just wanted to throw that out there because that was kind of weird. Because he was like a baller with like $500 or something, and he was like, keep the change, doll face or whatever. I was like, okay.
But I also thought it could be kind of cool. What if, instead of like the Nintendo challenge now or something, what if it was like a game making challenge or something, and like Jimmy like has to make a game or so, or what if that was sort of folded into it? But I mean, I guess that's kind of like
it wouldn't be as dramatic, I don't think. I mean, as a
I guess
Jimmy doesn't like to lose. Remember, he like lost. He like saw Lucas, and he
here's
like
what I want
around.
though. I want
no. Haley said that he was jealous.
I want the villain from Grandma's Boy to appear. The guy that was like thinks he's the robot.
See me. I'm gonna wear a red shirt next week so I can fucking.
There you go.
I mean, listen, I think it works. I think you bring back Tobey Maguire because he would probably have to produce it. And
Tobey Maguire would be great as the villain.
Oh, he wants revenge for Lucas.
So
he's
like his buddy Lucas took like play Lucas's life 30 years forward. He started drinking and like went down like a bad path and never recovered. And his friend Tobey Maguire is like, I'll get that wizard back for you.
The funny thing about Tobey Maguire is like you never really saw him with the group until like the end part when he was on the stairs. Yeah, like he wasn't with the homies like at first, like like the Vision Streetwear kid and the freaking kid with the sun visor. He wasn't with them.
Look, you're gonna rip their gizzards out, man.
Yeah, rip their gizzards out.
Why don't you go make yourself useful? Give me a cola.
Yeah, give me a cold drink or whatever.
Yeah, give me a cold drink.
I just remember
one thing. I was watching it the other night, and I kind of thinking, and it's got to be from some deleted scenes. But how does Lucas know who Putnam is? He yells at Putnam, "Hey you!" And he points to over there. And he points them out. So then they have that final chase.
He does it.
But I don't remember a scene where Lucas meets Putnam. He meets the dad and Christian Slater.
No, he does. He doesn't know him.
Well, that just ruined
one of those deleted scenes that you watch so bad.
By the way, in the chat, two funny things in the chat. Mikey Riffraff says, I had a super scope. LOL was ridiculous.
Nice.
I suffered from that as well. I don't think it worked. I don't know if it worked or if it was just I
didn't
remember
have
having a good time.
I didn't have any of the extra accessories. I didn't have any of them except for like obviously the gun that came with the.
I always had it's just like they said in the movie. I got him the Power magazines. I had the Nintendo Power subscription. That was pretty dope.
I didn't have the subscription, but I would like every now I would find the magazine somewhere.
They would have a map.
At theaters of this movie, they distributed some of the theaters that played this movie. They distributed a magazine called Pocket Power. which was the pocket-sized version of Nintendo Power. And I can't believe they actually called it Pocket Power.
You know why? Because I do remember there being in cereal, like Honey Smacks or whatever like that.
Pocket Power.
Like you would get like sometimes they would put like little toys and prizes, whatever that. I do remember there being like a Nintendo Power little magazine in one of the cereals, which I always thought was like silly. You have to dump out all the cereal just to get the prize. You know,
it was a time, dude. You had like the High C Ecto Cooler. You had fucking turtle pies. I feel like I see turtle pies in my fucking feed every day. The most disgusting looking thing ever. But it had the Ninja Turtles logo on it, so I'm sure they made
the turtle apple pies.
Is that what it was? They were apple fucking pies?
They were basically apple cherry pies.
All the Drake's cakes and stuff like that had a lot of that stuff too.
But yeah, it was a time, dude. There's Mario cereal, fucking Batman cereal.
I had Bill and Ted cereal.
Mr. T cereal.
I had the Bill and Ted cereal when the cartoons came out. I had the Bill and Ted cereal.
Look, we are officially the generation. Millennials are the official generation of
Ian just phased out of time and space for a second there.
It sounded profound though. I think he meant to say millennials love Airborne, and so do I.
I think that's what he meant to say too.
I heard that part. Never.
Ironically, in the live chat, Kyle 2.0 says Ian just wants a video game where you just read books and make fart noises.
Had the most toys of any generation, and I mean, advertising.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We had commercials that
Mm-hmm.
cartoons that were just made to sell toys, and had commercials for other cartoons that were made to sell toys, and they had cereal tie-ins, and then other companies that are made to sell games would put magazines inside the cereal. It was quite a cross-promotional time. Awesome. I think I learned who Johnny Depp was from the side of a Pop-Tarts box. Honestly, I think that's the first time I realized oh, that's the guy from Crybaby. His name's Johnny Depp. Okay. But yeah, it was a fucking time to be alive. But I say if you, put all these things together, and you have some sort of new Power Glove thing or a new Nintendo thing to promote, or a new, maybe now we can finally make the Power Glove work. I feel like even the Wii, the Wii was supposed to make the dreams of that come true. No, it didn't really deliver for me. It didn't work the way it was supposed to. The PlayStation Move, though, the PlayStation Move, I will say, I played that at my brother's house. It was very good.
I did like the Wii.
You threw a frisbee. If you can't throw a frisbee in real life, you couldn't throw it in this game. And if you could in real life, you could throw it. It was weird.
I stand by nothing will ever be GoldenEye.
Flappers only. License to Kill.
Golden Axe will be, if looks could kill, a lot of things beat GoldenEye, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't know about that, man. You play this Odd Job, Slappers Only. Look, License to Kill, running around, especially in the dam level. I don't know.
Didn't they re-release that a remastered version? It's not the same, right?
You got to have the 3 people over, and you got to have the Slappers Only.
See, that's the thing. I miss we're at the time when you used to have to play these games, and you have your friend there or whatever the case may be. You could trash talk like NBA Jam. Yeah. Man, I used to love playing NBA Jam and trash talking my friend.
What would be cool?
I would pay lots of money to play Back to the Future Nintendo with Chris Stiles. I cannot lie. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Throwing the bees.
Running.
The old pie fight at the cafe. The famous scene where Marty has to run around town collecting clocks.
So dumb, that game.
But what would be actually cool though is what if they went to this video game tournament and they didn't know what the games are going to be, and it's like the fucking Kumite, right? But it's still got I love the set design stage though that they had in that movie. That video Armageddon stage is everything I love in visual aesthetics in one place. But
how cool was it when it comes out and Jimmy Woods is right there?
That's the way to make it.
We have 3 contestants. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That guy was high on pixie sticks.
That dude was
Surge.
That guy was doing cocaine and gunpowder with his espresso, and his steroids,
And I like the little that little icon, when they had that on the video screen, they
the
had
night.
The night,
Jimmy gets hot and he goes red, and it's
Jimmy lost a life. He
Yeah,
has to
I
start
like
over.
how she said,
In
"Get the star."
Wild 2!
She's never played the game. No one's ever seen it, but she's like, "Get the star. Find
Get
the
the
warp
star.
whistle." She knows
Get
the
the
whole
warp.
game.
She knows the warp.
No,
They're like,
but
if
what
he
if,
finds a
okay,
warp,
so like they go into this video game tournament and then they don't know what it's going to be. And like some of it is like remakes
Yeah.
of old games, like up, like Skate or Die. Like, oh man, that game was impossible. But then like
Oh.
up, you know,
Tubing.
shit
Yep.
that we love, like you
Totally
bring
played
back some
that
shit.
game.
the
That
Tony
would be
Hawk is.
awesome.
Yeah, she knows what the magic
Love that.
flute is too. Like she's sitting there going like, "Get the magic flute, it's
Yeah,
a
and she knows
warp."
he could warp to any level.
He
Well,
can
you
warp
We
never
to
know
any
played
exactly
level.
where the warp is already. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's seen this game.
Yeah.
Well, then to be fair, there are
That was a
warps
bad
in
ad
other-
lib. She probably ad libbed that.
Yeah.
Look, there's
Get
two
the
kinds
star,
of people.
Jimmy,
There's
get
two
the
kinds of people
star.
in this world. All right. There's people that actually play for fun Super Mario Brothers, and turds that warp in like level 2 and go all the way to the very end just to finish it in time. All right. What kind of person are you? You know, that's all I have.
I like going to Giant World. I would warp to
Yeah.
Giant World, but not to the last level, which always confused me. It was like going to hell. Everything was on fire, and the hand would grab you. It made no sense. But I like Giant World. I didn't like Ice World. So yeah, I'd warp to the worlds I'd like. I didn't like the Egypt world, but Giant World was cool.
I will say Super Mario World, the one for Super Nintendo, I liked all the worlds except for the one that was after Star World. You go from Star World to like Tubular World or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Tubular World is like, oh, I hate these levels. Those are the ones that are a chore. But other than that, I love every single. That's like the perfect video game to me. Perfect all-time video game. But we are just about out of time, unless there's anything else you guys want to throw into the pot of ideas for the
Oh no, I
Wizard
think
2.
we got it. We got a downhill
I
race.
think we
That's
did.
a
I think the
video
live
game.
chat. I think the live chat did a great job today. And
100%.
and that being the case, I want to thank all you guys for still being here with us after 100 episodes.
I was just gonna say, I personally want to thank our audience for really seriously. You guys are the reason we do this, and I really, honestly, truthfully, it's fun to talk to these guys, but without you all, like, this is why we do it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I could not have said it better. Thank you, Professor. And that being the case, of course,
Airborne sucks.
Airborne
Why
rules.
Why you gotta
Airborne is
throw that
life.
in?
Airborne
Fuck.
sucks.
Why do you
English
always gotta
pacing
throw in
sucks.
Airborne, Shaun?
Well, because until you admit what you know is true in your heart, you got to acknowledge that it's a great movie. It's a time capsule. It's entertaining.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's a lovely film. And I just want to add in there that I'm also, as we know, a Hubby Halloween fan. And you should like that movie too, because it's heartwarming.
man.
It's a time capsule. It's
Hubie
great.
Halloween is a great movie.
Yeah.
I do like
Exactly.
it. I actually
Great
kind of like
flick.
Hubie Halloween.
I don't know
Exactly.
what fucking
Great
planet
flick.
I'm on right now. I think you guys all conspired to do this to drive me crazy. But that being the case, it must be time for me to wrap things up and tell you that you Fandom fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when the VCR throws a very special party that you are all invited to. To celebrate 100 sequels pitched, we are going to host an old-fashioned clip show highlighting the best and worst of VCR Redux. We wouldn't be here without all of you tuning in and making the live chat such an awesome community. It really is honestly the thing I'm most proud of about doing this show after 2 years and 100 sequels. So to say thanks, I'm inviting all of you to be part of the 101st episode. Got an episode request? Want to tell us why you love the show? Have a favorite episode? Film yourself talking about anything VCR Redux related and send it to Pop Culture Punk on Facebook or Instagram. And you too can be in a very special episode entitled VCR Redux 100 Sequels of Glory. As always, if you enjoyed this video, of course, the best way to help is to smash that like button and subscribe. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom Spotlight, the Howl 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Sayonara.